Good afternoon to everyone. I don't really know how to say this and what to say because do I really look that mature that I'm going to be able to give you a good gyan on this? But yes, I've come up with some positive attitude, and as the saying goes, a positive attitude may not be able to get rid of all your troubles, but it sure as hell is going to piss off enough people to make it worth the effort. But I'm actually looking forward to everybody, just helping me out through this process. If you have any questions on your mind, please feel free to ask me. As far as crushes and infatuations go, I have had plenty of them. In fact, some very, very weird ones as well. One of my first crushes was on a man who had died well before I was even born. He is still considered one of the greatest martial arts, excellence or whatever, the greatest, Bruce Lee. And I blame my mother for it, because for years and years I was not allowed to watch any other movies except for the ones which had Bruce Lee in it. And of course it was very many years later that she realized she was making me watch adult films well before my time. But, well, the good thing is it got me interested in learning martial arts myself. And, that was a good thing. I learned karate for a little while. Was a big gunda in my school for a while for that. So that was interesting. One of my second wrong crushes would be the Kashmiri shawlwalas, who used to frequent our house very often to sell carpets and rugs. And I used to find them gorgeous. And I think part of the reason for that was because I led a very, very protected childhood. I was not allowed to interact much with people of the opposite sex. And I went to a girls' school, a convent, followed by a girls' college. Talk about frustration. I have gone through it. But so far so good. Everything turned out pretty decently well. And I'm looking forward to some very interesting and engaging two-way conversations happening over here. So, well, welcome all of you to this. And I look forward to having a nice discussion with everybody over here. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Sanjay Jain to throw some light on psychology point of view for youth.
Well, good afternoon all of you. And good afternoon, Arya. You just talked about certain things like crushes. I would like you to think about four words, First is lust, second would be crushes, third would be infatuation, and fourth would be love. And if you draw a line between all four of them, there's going to be quite some overlapping in in infatuation and love. Crush and lust could be best left aside, Lust is purely related to sex. Crush, everybody has a crush on somebody or the other. Probably about 20% or 40% of the youth of this country would have a crush on a Shah Rukh Khan or a Sachin Tendulkar or a Katrina Kaif and so on and so forth. And crush is actually basically meaningless in the sense it is there somewhere in the back of your mind, but it doesn't actually affect your life. Now, the most important word is infatuation. Is infatuation love? Or there's a difference between infatuation and love? We have had a lot of movies in this country, like to name a few. In my times, like one of the first movies I had seen was Mera Naam Joker. In Mera Naam Joker, I don't know, most of you must not have seen it because it was well before your times. The junior Raj Kapoor, which was played by Rishi Kapoor, had a major crush to begin with, and infatuation later with Simi Grewal, who was a teacher of the school. And it went on to the extent that the teacher did not even know what was going on, and this boy was like performing badly at school, not knowing what all is going on in the world. But 24 hours, 24/7, he was like, he had his teacher on mind. Second very good movie I'd seen during my school college days was Imtihan, where Tanuja had a crush or an infatuation with her teacher Vinod Khanna. Lately you must have seen a couple of movies like Nishabt. I bet most of you must have seen it. Nishabt again was a story like that, where a girl falls into a love with a fatherly figure, who's actually a father of her friend. And things go haywire, they become out of control. Another movie which was not actually infatuation, which was love, is, why am I naming these two movies, was Chini Kam. Now Chini Kam cannot be called infatuation, because the heroine in this case was actually quite mature, and she would not just fall in for the hero of her kind or something, that besides that there's nothing left in life. In infatuation, actually that is what happens. There's no logic, there's no sense. In infatuation it is pure to begin with, one-sided, and then it can be bilateral. Of course, it is pure love. You don't see anything, you actually get blind. Like the topic they say, Dil to bacha hai ji, actually becomes like a child. You want what you want. If you want a particular man, you want that. And you can go to any extent to get that. In love, there's a lot of maturity involved. There's a lot of intelligence involved. It is a lot of give and take phenomena. And to separate infatuation from love, actually there is a very big element of jealousy. The jealousy is more often there in love, because it has been calculated, it has been understood to some extent, and you know what you are falling for. Now, the most frequent question is, why do people fall for such things? Why would a girl age 18 to 25 or something fall for a man who's about 45, 50, or her father's age or something like that? It could be multifactorial, Such relationships in psychiatry actually are called the May-December relationships. May-December, because there's a lot of difference between May and December, so they're called May-December relationships. They're also called the daddy-in sort of a thing, where girls especially are looking for a fatherly figure for support and admire them to such an extent that it actually becomes love, but occasionally it is so strong that it is basically defined as infatuation. Again, like I told you in the beginning, there's a very thin line which actually demarcates between infatuation and love. So it is a daddy-in. Like, why is the daddy-in? Because these girls usually are looking for a fatherly figure. Obviously, if you tell them that so-and-so is your father's age, they won't like it. If you call them children, they won't like it, because anybody who's trying to fall in love would never be wanted to be called as a child, because they think they're very highly grown up and they understand everything. So it is a daddy-in sort of a thing. Either you need a fatherly figure. Why? You need a fatherly figure because somewhere, according to the human psychology, you have been missing your father in some sort or the other, maybe emotional support or something. The second reason why such relationships happen could be a financial support. You realize that, but actually it happens, it is not manipulated. If it is manipulated, it is not infatuation or love, it is something very different. It is pure, plain and simple manipulation. So basically, you get a lot of financial support. What you realize is that people your age are going to grow up, they might not be giving you such expensive gifts, they might not be able to take you wherever you would want to go and fulfill all your dreams. Whereas a mature man knows everything, understands everything, and probably showers you with almost everything before you even think about it. The third reason which has been explained is, certain people use it as a stepping stone. It has been used as a stepping stone for success. And fourth, which is very plain and simple, is pure love. It happens because it just happened, So these are the basic things we actually talk about when we talk about infatuation and love. And I think it's better if we open this house for discussion. Thanks.